Okay, hello everybody. This is Wolf Movie Reviews, and today I have to talk about the movie Avengers Infinity War. So, at the time you're watching this, it's already been posted up. So, I saw this movie on April 27 when it came out. So, what can I say? I saw this on April 27, and this video is going up on April 27, and if not, I've already done this video, but uploading will take some time. So, what I'm going to be talking about is that when I went to the first, I'm just going to give my reaction and what I thought of this movie, and then later I'll probably do, I guess not really what this movie is about, but I'll just tell you my own reaction and what I felt about this movie. So, let's start off saying that this is actually going to be probably a spoiler review or something. So, when I went to the theater, I went to watch Avengers Infinity War, which I thought was going to be probably boring or something. I didn't have that much of an expectation, and I didn't even know that people around me would have the same expectation, because the people around me were saying this movie was good. They were not really into the Avengers, and they were not really into all of this movies, these Marvel movies. But okay, so when I went to the theater, I watched the movie, and then the people that were sitting next to me, around me, they all clapped. They all were hollering, hooting and hollering. I guess if that's the word, hooting. They were hollering and whistling and saying, "Wow, we get to see Spider-Man. Wow, we get to see Iron Man. Wow, we get to see Guardians of the Galaxy. Wow, we get to see this." And they go, "Wow." They even clapped and said, "Woo, the Hulk." Yeah, even though in the previews and the trailers we saw that there was Hulk. There was the Hulk fighting the enemies. Like, I think he was definitely fighting Thanos. But the way we started in theaters, we never got to see a Hulk come out, because he wasn't. I guess according to everybody, he was afraid to fight Thanos, so he used the Iron Man suit, and then that's how he fought. But people were clapping and hollering during the whole movie, and that means that people were really excited for this movie. And I guess people in the end of this movie were also excited. They were kind of excited and at the same time kind of sad, because as you've seen this movie, for most of you that saw this movie, no Avenger won in this movie. It was all about Thanos beating everybody, which he sacrificed his supposedly daughter, which is Gamora, I think that's her name, Gamora. He threw her to get the Soul Stone, and then Loki. I think he's the first one to die. He's the first one that they kill. But I think that those are definitely going to be getting removed. And then I'm not sure about the other ones, but some of them that disappeared, that you saw turn into leaves or turn into like dust. I guess leaves, we're gonna say. The people that were turned to leaves, those are the ones that I guess we're going to say that they disappeared. But what I have as an expectation is that I didn't expect that in one movie no Avengers, no superhero would win. I thought that since Thanos was there, I would have said Thanos just defeat certain superheroes, and then it's time for the Avengers or whoever to take over and just beat the heck out of Thanos. But no one could do it because he got every single stone. But the thing is that people are saying, how come they dumb down every single stone? They dumb down every single stone because they want you to get to the 6 stones. Because what point is it to have one stone? They want you to see what it looks like to have 6 stones. But they have to dumb it down because they have to do it more, I guess, more realistically. They have to do it so what are my thoughts on this movie? I thought that this movie was a big win. A big win for people who haven't actually watched the Avengers before or watched any Marvel movie, which this is my thought. I guess my thoughts is that it was amazing movie. I had its times where it was like it doesn't make sense sort of thing because there was some parts where Thanos just came out of nowhere and started fighting against I guess they from the beginning of the movie it showed that he he defeated he defeated what's his name Loki and then he almost defeated Thor, which he kind of did defeat Thor, but he threw him out, which we thought he was gone for good, but he wasn't. But I think the Avengers Infinity War picks up from a different movie, which I know it does pick up from a different movie, but I'm not sure if it picks up from Guardians of the Galaxy or it picks up from maybe another Avengers or it picks up from somewhere. But I just know that it picks up from a previous movie. But what I'm saying is that Thanos ended up winning. He ended up beating everybody because he got every single stone. Then he just snapped his fingers. Then the whole world just started to crumble, started to get destroyed, and most people half because, like I said, when you snap your fingers, only half of the world, half of the population will get destroyed, and the other half didn't. But people are speculating that people are speculating that Iron Man will come back. I mean, Iron Man will be the one to save us. But as you saw at the end of the movie, it said that Thanos will return. So, whatever that means, or whatever, because I'm not really sure what they're pushing, what Marvel's pushing for this new Avengers 5, I guess you can say, because this one is considered Avengers 4 Infinity War. But like I said, people in my auditorium were all clapping when they saw Spider-Man. People started clapping when they saw the Hulk. People started clapping when they saw, I guess, when they saw the Black Panther. But at that time I was kind of tired, but I still kept my eyes open and watched the whole movie. So I gotta say that this one was a big win for Marvel. I don't know if 10 years in the making. I don't know, but this creates. I guess this is the end. I guess for all of Marvel. I mean, not for Marvel itself, but just for the guys that play that play like Iron Man, the guys that portray Iron Man, or the guys that do I don't know a Hulk, I guess. But the sad part that I'm going to bring out is that the Hulk hasn't actually gotten a movie, a standalone movie. I'm not sure if we're picking up from Bruce from the previous I from the previous Hulk. But maybe I really don't get it how they're picking up this this sequence or this timeline. I don't know how they're bringing it up because as we saw is that the Hulk came out in 2008, the Incredible Hulk, but it wasn't with this guy with this Mark Ruffalo. It's not with this guy named Mark Ruffalo. It's with someone else, which I probably know, but at the top of my mind, I don't know you right now. So yeah, that's what happened. People were hollering and I'm amazed by how well they did this movie. Which I could say there was some parts where I felt that it was weird because I don't know how they make you fight. I mean, as you saw that it goes from scene to scene. It goes first you fight. First is Thor fights against Thanos. I think he fights against Thanos, but then he loses. And then Loki, he tries to fight Thanos. He stabs him, I think, and then he goes away. What I'm saying is that Loki goes away. He ends up dying, and then there goes the scene where where Gamora, I guess that's her name, she fights against Loki. No, she fights against Thor. My bad. She fights against Thor, and Thor ends up winning. But it looks like, wow, oh my gosh, Gamora ended up killing. I mean, I don't want to say killing, but taking down Thor. I mean, no, taking down Thanos. My bad. Gamora tries to take down Thanos, and she supposedly gets successful, and then finds out that none of it was true. She didn't defeat him. But the thing is that it shows that one superhero tries to fight Thanos, loses, then Thanos disappears, goes to another part of the planet, or another part of the universe. Then it shows that he fights again with another superhero. Then again, Thanos disappears, goes to another part of the universe, fights another superhero, and so on until we get to the part where every superhero is in one place. They're all at the same place. I mean, they're all in one place at the same time, fighting against Thanos. But then the way that Thanos does it, he just snaps his fingers. Like I said, he snaps his finger, and then that's when everybody just vanishes. Not everyone, but half of the planet vanishes, which people are like, "Whoa, I expected Thanos to lose," but it's because, like we said, this movie was just mostly dedicated to Thanos defeating most of the Avengers or most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he only took down half of it. But that's how it was. So I wouldn't say that this movie was a 10 out of 10, but I have to say that in my opinion, I would say that I still put this at number 1. No, actually, I put this at number 2. If we're definitely putting Deadpool into the scene, I'm definitely putting it as number 2 because I don't think there's a movie out there that can definitely beat Deadpool, because who's going to defeat Deadpool? I mean, I heard of Deadpool before, only through the video game, through the PS3, Xbox 360. I'm not sure of PC, but the Xbox and the PS3 version. That's how I heard of Deadpool. But then after that, it didn't really pick up with me. After that, I just said, yeah, it's good. It's another Marvel, but because certain things don't catch up to me at that time, because sometimes I'm like, okay, well now there's another superhero and he has more powers. I mean, I'm not into all of these superhero movies that have powers that say, oh, I can do a I can use laser beams, or I can use eye laser beams, or laser beams from my hands. Not that type of person. Which that I'm more of the Spider Man. Even though Spider Man, I feel that he's kind of it's kind of weird that no one actually says this, but it's just part of the. I'm just letting it slide, but no one has ever caught up on this. That why does Spider Man use his spider web to swing? But where does the spider web go? Because you just see it from the sky. You just see part of the spider web from the sky to him. So like say he's crossing from one side of New York to the next side, but he's swinging. How? Well, where's the spider web? Where's it hanging from? Because it just looks like it's just hanging from nowhere. And then that's it. But my thoughts on this movie was amazing. The only part that I would have liked to be changed was just all those things that he fought one superhero, that Thanos fought one superhero, then he fought the next one, and so on in a different part of the universe. But the only one that I have to say that really pulled the most, I mean, I mean, everybody in the movie gave their good side, where they said, yeah, I feel that everybody did good. Every superhero did good. But I think the person that let me think of the person that actually stood out the most to me. The person that stood out the most to me would have been probably, it's between, for me, just personally for me, I would say it's between Spider Man and I would say I would say Doctor Strange. The reason for Doctor Strange sticking out to me kind of the most is because, as you saw, that he's the one that said only one person will. Actually, yeah, he kind of stood out because he said there's no other way to do this than just to give the stone, the the time stone, because he was the holder of the time stone. He's the one that said, "Yep, I have the time stone and I'm going to give it to Thanos." But there's a scene where there's a scene where Thanos. I mean, there's a scene where Doctor Strange. There's a scene where Doctor Strange holds the time stone and he tries to check into the future, but for some reason he tells Iron Man. What did you when Iron Man asks, "What did you see?" I think something like that. He says, "What do you see?" But I'm just saying it in my own words. What do you see? Then Doctor Strange says, "I see the future," but he doesn't really get to see. He doesn't really get to tell what's really going on into the future, because he just says, "Here's the future," and only one person wins. But who's this person? But at some time we still say that no one won during this movie, which Thanos ended up winning. He got to his farm, he got to his place that he was thinking. But the as you saw, if you actually watched the movie, because I don't know if most of you have watched the movie yet or not, because this is a this video is not going up at the same day that I'm watching this movie. It's going up maybe at a later time, but I already have this made. So yeah, so like I said, half of the population disappears. So that would include Black Panther. That would include. I'm not sure if it includes the Hulk, but I know Spider Man was the one that said, "What's happening? I don't want to disappear. I don't want to go. Oh man!" And then all of a sudden he just disappears. He vanishes because of Thanos. Only that. But the weird part is that, why does Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, or his gauntlet, crack and get all old, all destroyed? So I would say this is not a 10. This is definitely a high 8 or a 9. But I would say Deadpool takes the 10. Deadpool. But then I'll rank all my movies later on. So I would say that most of the time people were hollering and clapping. So it was like you were at a concert or something. But it felt silent at some points. We're like, at first, like, when certain superheroes appeared, then people clapped. Then when they saw those superheroes already, they stopped clapping, and people were laughing when they. There was times where people were laughing, people were clapping, people were, I guess, I'm not sure, sad. But I was confused at the end because Thanos will return. I don't know what that means, but I know that no Avenger, no superhero won this movie. In this movie, I would have thought that from the beginning, okay, some of the superheroes die, like people are saying on the internet, some superheroes die. Which Avenger will die? But then I get to the realization that it's not about superheroes winning; it's about Thanos winning, which is weird. That we gotta, for the first time, I would have said, yeah, superheroes don't win, and that's my point in all of this. This is what I've always thought. I've always thought, how is it that superheroes always win? How? No matter what the villain does, the superheroes always win. No matter how strong the villain becomes, no matter no matter what happens, but the villain always loses. It's like you go through a time portal and wow, you you lose. You lose enemy. You lose Thanos or whatever they come out with, but the villain always ends up losing. But I'm kind of proud of this movie because at the end, for the first time ever, a villain wins. He beats most of the Avengers. He does what he says he's going to do, and that's my high expect. That was my high expectation. I mean, it over exceeded my expectations, but it's way better than every other movie that's been out there except for Deadpool. I gotta say this is higher than every other movie, but lower than Deadpool. It's just Deadpool's number one. And if we're talking about Marvel versus DC, I have to say that the Suicide Squad was in a way disappointing and at the same time kind of good because in that movie, a Suicide Squad, I was thinking that the Avengers. No, I, I'm talking about a different movie. Suicide Squad. I would have thought that maybe this time the villains would end up winning, but like saying the enemies fight against Superman or they fight against Batman or they fight against certain villains and then they say I mean certain superheroes and then they say yeah I win, I beat you Batman or I beat you Superman or I beat you Flash or whatever, I beat you, but that's not it. That's not how I went. It was completely different to what I was thinking, which that's that really went worse than what I expected. But I'm just comparing Suicide Squad with the Avengers Infinity War because the enemy in the Infinity War won, and I thought that in Suicide Squad I would have thought that the villains that were being called out, like the Joker, like Harley Quinn, whatever else there was out there, Deadshot, I would have thought those villains would have gone evil and fought against the good guys and won. But those bad guys ended up fighting worse guys. They were considered still the good guys, which is kind of weird. Which if Zack Snyder made this movie, I'm disappointed in you, Zack Snyder. You had better movies than this. But that's not the point of this review. This review is to say that Avengers Infinity War, for sure you gave me an 8 or a 9, but not a 10, which that goes to Deadpool. Well, I'm going to say it goes from 7 to 9. So my expectations is that Deadpool, I mean that, yeah, my expectations for this is that Deadpool still comes out as number one over Avengers Infinity War, but Avengers Infinity War over exceeded my expectations. At first, when I saw this movie, I was like, it's another Avengers. It's another. I mean, because there was certain Avenger movies that I was disappointed in. There was some Captain America movies that I was disappointed in. Then there was some. Yeah, actually, I feel that more Captain America is more boring. I don't know why, but in my mind, after watching all of these movies, I feel that Captain America is more boring than every other movie out there. That's just in my opinion, and I have to say that that's about it. I give more expectations now to Avengers, and my review at the end of this is that I give it a 7 to a 9, and I have to say that that's it. I don't know what your thoughts on this movie is. Please let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on this movie is and everything else. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.